What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Alchemy Pay today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It's the first day of July today, and here we are with about, 20 hours left in the day, yes? Down a little bit today, down a little bit yesterday. You've been rather boring over the past couple of weeks, but that's okay. A little bit disappointing, right? Coming through the month of May and into the end of June here, but that's okay. You're in this very massive, still very massive accumulation phase. It's clear that it's an accumulation phase, right? I didn't draw the straightest line, but you can see what I'm going for. Yes, we're a little bit below this area, but I'm not worried about it, guys. These diagonal lines aren't worth a damn. I mean, really, we're not even below it, you know what I mean? But even if we get below it, it's not that big of a deal. As long as we're above this low here, I'm not worried about ACH, right? I'm really thinking, all I'm thinking about is not if and when we break below any kind of level. I don't think we're going to. I think if we were going to, we would have done it already. I'm thinking about if and when we break above this level here. That's what I'm thinking about, right? We got a triple top here. If this is a triple top, I mean, we've been very tame with this harsher triple tops or triple bottoms are very powerful patterns, you guys. And don't get me wrong, that was a powerful move at first, but it didn't maintain. It didn't provide any lower lows. We've got higher lows overall. Again, I can't draw a straight line, but you see what I'm going for. I don't think that it persists. I think that when we come up here again, there's no such thing as a quadruple top. We would likely break through and see some kind of fantastic growth. You've been consolidating since February of 2023 for like almost 2.5 years. And we're at the lows, and you're bearish at the lows. Like it's common. It's very common for people to get bearish at the lows, right? But really, this is the best time to accumulate. If you think about it, let's just think about it this way, okay? Let's put a box on Alchemy Pay, okay? Let's put a box on it here, okay? That's a big box. That's a nice big box. The most ideal time to buy throughout this whole box, undoubtedly, was below this white line. That was the most ideal time to buy. We are less than 10%. I drew that to the top. I meant to draw it right here. We are, oh no, okay, sorry. I guess we are about 10% away, maybe even a little bit more. Let's try and get it right on. 10.4% away from that line. We're really not that far away from that line at all. I'm not saying that we go down here. I'm just saying the most opportunistic moments to buy throughout this whole box have been in that area. Why is this box so opaque? We don't want it to be. Let's make it a little bit less. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It can have a little bit. Can we make it a different color? What, red? Oh yeah, that's nice. It kind of makes it darker almost. But just not. We want it to be transparent. Anyways, we're at the low ends of this box. We put a line right in the middle here. Right in the middle. That's probably like smack dab right in the middle. We're on the lower ends of this box. Any time that you've bought below this line, it's been the most opportunistic moments to buy. We're 10% away from there. Anytime you bought below this line, you're in the lower half of the buying zone. And honestly, you're probably in an area where most people sell. Most of the time, not a financial advisor, people think that the price action works like this. Most people are selling up here, and then most people are buying down here, and that's not what happens actually, right? Most of the time what happens is at the lows you have most people selling. At the highs, you have most people buying, right? Buying at high prices creates sellers. Selling at low prices creates buyers. That's just what it is. And of course, the sellers sell to strong hands, people who are always buyers, people who are looking to hold and buy more and accumulate. That happens too. But oftentimes, if you sell at the worst possible time and it moves up and it finally starts to show life, that's whenever you FOMO back in. You buy in at a higher price, and you're part of the reason why the price goes up, right? You've already sold out, so you've emptied out your bearish ammunition to send this thing lower. Now all you have is capital on the sidelines, and you're watching, and you're getting jealous as it's moving up without you. Now you've got your bearish ammunition's gone. You've got cash. That's bullish ammunition. You send this thing up higher. That's kind of how it is. A lot of people think that what's happening, again, let me say it again, is that they think there's most selling going on here and there's the most buying going on here, but that's the opposite, right? Best believe a lot of selling is being had below this midway point right here, below this area. This is where most of the selling goes. But how's that worked out so far, right? I mean, so far it hasn't hurt you too much. Being at this price right now, you're basically neutral, right? Break even. But whenever we move up, whenever we see these fantastic areas to sell at, not to buy at, you miss out on that. And likely what's going to happen here, again, is that we don't have this triple top Oh no, we don't want that. Hold on. Look at that. We won't have a quadruple top. We'll likely break out and see some fantastic kind of move, right? Fantastic fashion of a move. Using this on the crypto chart, the all-time history chart, if we look at this from a high to a low here, you've consolidated below your golden ratio. When you break out, typically speaking, I would expect that you find resistance at your 886, 786 area, right? And that would make sense. That could be a very big move. I wouldn't be surprised at all if from here you moved up there, you know, sometime in August and you found resistance here. Maybe it's sometime in this month of July and you find resistance here, but with how lackluster things are, I'm a little bit skeptical, right? But I would expect you find resistance here, but you don't stop here. It'll be very brief. When you find resistance here, it's not going to be like this. You're not going to consolidate for another 2 or 3 years. It's going to be a very brief consolidation. You're going to be ripping and running to new all-time highs in a matter of no time at all, right? You'll be at 42.7 cents to $1.30 by the end of this year, if not well before that, right? You're at 1.8 cents now. You'll be above $1. You're at 1.8 cents, man. You're pretty close to Onyx Coin and Swift Coin. You'll be above $1 by the end of this year, probably. That's my guess, right? 42 cents or more, I should say, by the end of this year. Could you be at 42 cents by the end of August? It's possible. You've got a very long accumulative formation here, and whenever it breaks loose, it could really go higher. But typically, whenever you find this much resistance at the golden ratio, just calling it what it is, typically when you find this much golden resistance at the golden ratio, we can just call it golden resistance, sure. You would stop at the 786 to 886. But also, typically, with a large accumulation pattern, you get a robust move. I would say that's a pretty robust move right there, from a low to a high. That is a pretty robust move. But if you were to go higher, it wouldn't surprise me, right? Maybe we go, instead of stopping at 12 cents, maybe we go all the way up to 17.8 cents. But something fantastic's coming our way. Right, if you look at this here, 786 to 886, that's a 5x to a 6.7x move. If you go any higher than that, that's awesome, right? That's just icing on the cake. And there is a solid chance where you do even see higher prices than that. But I would think something around the 886 is the most likely outcome, something around 12 cents. We thought we were going to go to 20 cents. That was the original target for a long time, but I haven't seen enough out of this. Maybe I don't know enough about Alchemy Pay, and that's fair. I don't know enough about the fundamentals. Maybe something's brewing that I'm unaware of. Clearly something's brewing, but your golden ratio is right there, the 886 is right there, and based off the fibs, I feel pretty damn confident you'll find resistance at 12 cents. If I'm wrong, 17 cents, 30 cents stands to be, even 42 cents stands to be a possibility, but are you going to move up? Is Alchemy Pay going to do a 23x between now and the end of August? It's possible. It's absolutely possible, in all fairness. I mean, it doesn't sound like the hardest... It doesn't sound like the easiest thing to do, but it doesn't sound like it's an impossible task. But I would think, coming down a little bit right here, 6x, that's outperforming the average altcoin still. A 10x is outperforming the average altcoin, something in that area. So I think we'll move up soon. Looking at the weekly RSI, very bullish. Okay, overall, this is a very bullish RSI. It's not bearish at all. You're actually in the areas that you found support at throughout this cycle so far on a weekly time frame. And your monthly RSI, same thing, man. You got higher lows. It looks absurdly bullish. You're neutral right now, sure, but the way you're postured is set for a very bullish stage. And I think that you will see that performance come in a very, very, very short amount of time, my friends. So just be patient. Stack, hodl, whatever, right? If there's any kind of fundamental changes that happen in a bad way, maybe be aware of that, right? Keep up with the fundamentals through these accumulative phases. Make sure that they're still alive and developing and producing whatever it is they produce. And I got nothing else for you guys. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Bye-bye.